This is a review on the Autoglym Microfiber cloths, which I have one here. It's a little bit used. Show you the tag. Sorry, it's upside down. So these are Autoglym do them. They come in. I think they've got the grey ones, the green ones, which are normally used for glass, and then you've got the red ones. Now these are quite. I mean, this one isn't that old, but you can see it's not very thick, and microfiber cloths have come on a long way now since a few years ago. Now this one here, for argument's sake, is a cheaper one, quite cheap one, and it is from, as you can see by the tag, Health Foods, and it is almost identical in size and in the actual pattern itself. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, it's almost this one is a little bit newer, but it is almost identical, and this one was a lot cheaper. I mean, the Autoglym ones, I think you can buy them in if you go to the rep, you can buy them, I think, in a pack of, I think it's a pack of 10, might be 20, I can't remember, but they are expensive even if you buy them individually. If you've used them, you'll know they're quite dear to buy. Now, in comparison to say Kirkland, you may have heard of them. They do a bundle, I think it's 36, and it's normally around about £20 for 36. Now this one, although it's a little bit used, as you see by the tag, Kirkland, but you can see the overall difference of, I'll put these side by side, you know, that the Kirkland ones are definitely a lot bigger, and I'd say they probably last a lot longer as well, which is the thing with the thing that I find is with microfibers that are quite thin, where they're not that thick, especially if you're using, say, polishing, you know, you have to use multiple cloths when they're quite thin, but with the Kirkland ones, sometimes, depending on the weather conditions, you can sometimes get away with just using one to take the polish off. There you go. So really, Autoglym microfiber cloths, I think they're overpriced for what they are. You know, you can buy, you know, when you can buy other microfiber cloths in quantity, you know, or even if you do you know, if you bought one of these, you know, that I've seen them, the prices, they sort of range from £2, sometimes I've seen them for £3, that's like for one, in comparison to the Kirkland ones, which might, you know, even if these work out 60p each, if you get, you know, 36, 20 quid, might be a little bit less than that, you know, it is a lot cheaper and a lot better. It's, you know, these ones are just, for what they are, considering it's Autoglym, you know, especially for the cost, you know, there is way better, much cheaper, longer lasting microfibers out there, like the Kirkland ones. I mean, even the Halford ones that are quite cheap, you know, obviously a lot cheaper than the Autoglym ones, although they might be, I don't know, I think they're probably about the same, I think, almost. I think they're probably maybe a little bit thinner perhaps, but not that noticeable difference. But they're a little bit in the same sort of size, you know. Are you just paying for the name, you know, because it just seems that way, I think, with these cloths, to be totally honest. You know, it's not a very good cloth in comparison to, you know, when you can buy cheaper ones, a lot cheaper, you know, that are much thicker and last longer than a sort of branded microfiber. You know, are you just paying for the name? So I mean, if you're yeah, at the end of the day, it's personal preference, I suppose. I mean, I used to buy the Autoglym ones all the time, but because I go through quite a lot, you know, and it's quite cost effective just to buy the Kirkland ones. I mean, the only thing that is a little bit different is when you're separating microfibers for different purposes. You know, you might want to keep ones for polish separate to the ones that you're using, say, for glass cleaner, or ones that you might be using for certain dressings, maybe, you know, for cross contamination. You know, it's for the colour. That, you know, I used to use the grey ones for polishing, I used to use the green for glass, and I think the red ones I used to use just for sort of taking wax off. So, you know, I used to separate all the microfibers, wash them separately, you know. So it's a bit more, you know, you have to, with the Kirkland ones, well, the microfibers that are all the same colour, I have to make sure that I put them in different bags so I know what's going through the wash, so they're not cross-contaminating with silicons and fillers and whatnot. But yeah, I honestly do. Autoglym cloths, you know, they should be better. You know, they should really be better than what they are. You know, times have moved on. You know, if you look at the difference between, there's just such a big difference between the much cheaper, you know, this one here was, say it was £2 and this is, say, 50p. The 50p one is better, no two ways about it, you know. And the other thing about these, because I go from quite a lot, they get after a while, you know, going through washes, they don't last that long, because when it gets to the point where you end up pushing polish around rather than taking it off, or with the glass, you know, it's leaving glass sort of smeary because the fiber's not picking up all the dirt. You just end up pushing it around and you have to change them. Yeah, they're a very expensive option, realistically, just to have that Autoglym logo on it. You know, personal preference, I suppose, but my tip is, you know, if you want to go for the Autoglym ones, go for the Autoglym ones. But if you're doing quite a lot, you know, as a valeter, you know, you're doing it day in, day out, you'll go for the cheaper Kirkland ones, because they will last you a lot longer there, and they're a lot cheaper. I hope this video has helped you out in some way. Please give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, leave a comment. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you.